that shit the other day, and right when I woke up, first clip I watched, Gavin talking shit, saying Tucker Carlson doesn't bend to the will of his viewers. After January 6th, Tucker did go after, like, everybody that was in there said they should be locked away for good and all that shit, just like CNN. And he got a major fucking backlash. But Gavin is not aware of this because Gavin is not in touch. Tucker came on the air the next day and apologized on air, which is the only reason he is the top reporter on the news right now that everybody trusts, because he had that point. That was his point where he had to make a choice to tell the truth or go with a lie. And honestly, if Tucker would have went with a lie, I think all of Fox would have went with a lie. I really do, because he kind of bangs the drum over there for the truth. He really does. Greg Gutfeld has good intentions, but his libertarian stance is a losing thing. We just gotta redo the Republican Party completely and throw libertarian ideals in them. And also a lot of Democratic ones. They weren't wrong about a lot of stuff, they just didn't do anything they promised. But I'm going to get some Abendazole. I spilled the beans to the ER and said, hey, I got these off the internet. I got some pills off the internet, CNN, and it saved my fucking life. So, I don't know, it's pretty upsetting. And after I got out of the ER, my mom has Alzheimer's and she's losing it, and stress makes it worse. I went to sleep. It was 6 a.m. in the morning, and she put my dog in the car, Grand Pyrenees, who I haven't cut his hair in a minute, in a car, and fell asleep. And he was there till 1 o'clock. And if the windows were up anymore, he would have died. So I woke up and saw that. And I'm always in so much pain, I break out into sweat. I went crazy. I'm like, you almost killed my dog. You need to not, like, every time I get out of the ER, she does something horrible. I'm like, I don't know why you keep doing this. I don't know what's going on, whether it's on purpose, subconscious, whatever, but you cannot keep doing this when I get out of the ER. Like, just go to your room and fall asleep until I wake up. Don't fucking do anything once I get out of the ER. And also, once I wake up, don't say crazy shit like, this isn't working, we gotta get you out of the house. Like, no. I fixed up this house. I moved to this house, and then you moved in. Like, most people, I had a horrible childhood, so as soon as I could work, I worked my ass off. I worked doubles. I worked 6 days a week for 10 years. And I got sick, and the company fucking fired me. Cut my insurance. I had 200 hours of PTO that they cut, so I only get 50 cents on the dollar. That's right to work states, it's not right. And this is what Ben Shapiro pushes. Ben Shapiro is the same guy that would run a company and fire me for being sick so he could save half the money on my PTO. I do not believe he's any different, and he's not. It all matters about his bottom dollar, that's it. And as soon as it doesn't jive with his bottom dollar, he'll go against it. He's a Newt Gingrich fuck. And that's why, like, when I hear people on Joe Rogan like, hey, I just don't like that guy. And they're like, I can't explain it. I can't quite get it. And it's like, because you're an idiot, but also because you're an idiot. But, that's Ben Shapiro. It's because he reminds you of somebody. And he reminds me of Newt Gingrich, a guy who lied through his teeth, cheated on his wife when she was dying of cancer, and divorced her, and said he's a godly man, God, and sold our jobs to China. Like, all of it was his bottom dollar. That's That's all it was about. Mitch McConnell, bottom dollar. That's all it's about. And most of these people, that's it. I grew up with a family with wealth. I didn't get any of it because I was the black sheep of the family. Like, I was the only good person in my family. So, good people and families with money are the ones that get, torn apart. And I saw it ruin everybody's lives. And as long as I'm breathing and kicking and walking and, not on the street begging for drugs, which I never did and I never would, you're fine, and it's better off. My grandfather was worth $10 million. He had a gold digging wife for 50 years that plotted on that money with my aunt. He died not knowing who he was in a fucking nursing home, covered in bed sores. He gave me $1,000 out of that $10 million. So, and he has 2 grandchildren, me and my brother. My brother got 30 grand. So if I would have kissed his ass every year, my entire life, I would have got $1,000 for each year, like my brother. And I knew I was gonna get fucked. So I was like, if this is how you give your, grandchildren money, like you let me suffer my entire childhood when you had millions. Like no clothes, sometimes no food, and he's a millionaire, and I'm his, 2 only grandchildren. He only had to help 2 grandchildren. He would have never noticed. And he could have gave us good lives, college education, everything. He did none of that, including my great grandfather left me $5 grand. He said, let me put that in the stock market. I was 6. Guess when I turned 18? 2007? 2008? And even when legally he was supposed to give it to me, he said no. I lost some of your money in the stock market. He didn't make up for what he lost. And when he gave me that $4,000, which obviously is a lot less than 5, he said that's all you're gonna get. It's like, motherfucker, that was my money. You lost $1,000, and then you so literally that $1,000 he gave me when he died is money he owed me. So I'm gonna load this, but I got a picture of his book, and that's what I'm gonna put up. And if you go to Barnes & Noble, steal his book and burn it, or write your worst ideas in it, because he's a piece of shit. And the woman on the cover, Carol Myers, she is trash, and she, robbed me of my birthright, robbed my dad. My dad died in a fucking Vegas hotel room because he thought, he could make up for his not being there whenever he got the money, but he was a gambling addict, so was never there, never helped. But that's why I can call out Ben Shapiro, because I've seen it my entire life. And he is going down that same path, and a lot of these guys are going down that same path of money, because as much as they like to be like, oh, we're so rich, and we're helping people, like, you really build your own fucking hell. And that's what, like, you don't know what it's like being rich. It's like, no, the reason why it's miserable, you're rich, is because you have become a miserable person. You treat everybody like shit, and unless they jump to your tune, you will not help them. So everybody around you becomes corrupted by the money, you're corrupted by the money, and the whole thing is toxic. And I see that going on with Tim Pool. Crowder's doing a decent job. Joe Rogan went right off the edge. And Ben Shapiro, that was his goal the whole time. I wonder which kid's gonna off him when he's on his deathbed, because you're gonna have 12 kids? All looking for that money? Let me tell you something. The one that he will least suspect to fucking jab him with morphine is the one that's gonna do it. Because I've seen that too. Rich people are fucked.